Taurus, well, with all this social distancing, I may not be able to hug you. I may not be able to throw a party for you, but I can sing happy birthday to you, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, dear Taurus, happy birthday to you, happy birthday, my beautiful, and happy birthday to all the April Tauruses. I know we missed the readings and there's been a lot going on, as you know, but it's still Taurus season and it is still a great time for you to be shining. Even though many of us are still in isolation, lockdown and the whole thing, it doesn't mean that the energy isn't all pouring in a positive flow towards you. And no matter what's going on, you've been given that gift and boost by the universe to feel good and to feel a bit more lighthearted and to feel very creative actually this month and confident with everything that you're having fun with and creating. So why is all of this happening apart from the fact that it's your birthday? Let's have a look at the energies, and in the meantime we'll do what we always do. We'll shuffle the cards and we'll wait on all the right ones to come out for you, my love, and let's get to it. Let's get finding out what's going on. So the sun is in Taurus, yes, in there with Mercury as the first card leaps out there, the Emperor, and you may be feeling a bit like royalty at home, indulging a lot at home perhaps, thinking of yourself a lot, which is no bad thing. You know, we're all in some sort of lockdown or whatever like that. I don't know, maybe May for some of us might be a bit of a different moment. Some of us could be out of lockdown by May, but you're still taking care of yourself. You're thinking of yourself, doing things like eating good food, as you know, taking care of yourself as much as you can and enjoying every bit of this self-nurturing, this self-love and this self-care, and having fun as you're doing it. Yeah, you might be rediscovering, you know, the whole thing. How do I give myself foot massages? How do I, you know, like me, how do I use colour from a box again that you have to buy off a supermarket shelf? Things like that. How do I take care of myself? But you're doing a great job of it, and the sun is there to help you, Taurus. But this is actually a great month energy-wise for you, be it in isolation or out of isolation, one way or the other. The energy is there for you to use. And what I feel is that a great many of you are having a real moment to get yourself together. That's what I feel like. Get your fitness together. Even if you're at home and you can't go out, it's like move the furniture aside. I need to do some sort of exercise. You might be getting into doing yoga or, you know, pulling out the weights again and doing a bit of gym exercises or the whole thing. It's like I want to feel physically strong. It's like I want to be strong in my body. I want to eat right. I want to feel right. And then I'll be happier. So you're building up a lot of confidence and self-esteem by taking care of yourself in that way. You're saying, I'm not going to be a couch potato. You know, sometimes Taurus, I know, and you know, you can be at times quite indulgent. You know, it's no problem to maybe sit down in front of a movie and eat a box of candies, whatever, sometimes if the mood takes you. But this is different. This time you're saying, no, I'm taking care of myself. I want to feel fit. And I want to feel strong, and I feel that's what the universe needs me to do. So you're going along with that, and that's a good thing. Now, around May 11th, Mercury moves into Gemini, into your second house. And this is where it all really starts kicking off, I feel, in this second house. The sun is moving in there on May 20th. Mercury is going to be in there. Venus, your ruler, is retrograding in there in the second house. We've the new moon in there in the second house. And the north node of destiny has shifted out of Cancer and is now in Gemini, in your second house. What is the second house? Self-esteem, self-confidence, the things that you accumulate yourself, your own resources, your own talents, your own abilities, the things that give you that presence of self-esteem and confidence and self-worth. Plus, it also means money and the things that you value in your life, like your assets, your home, your car, things like that, your pensions, whatever, businesses, the things you value. And this is coming into huge sharp focus now for you this month, where I feel for many of you, it's like a whole reshifting of your strength and confidence away from you and into the things that you value. Your work, your business, your relationships, your money, definitely your money. There's a feeling of, if I can get myself right under weird conditions, then I can get everything else right under weird conditions. And money is number one priority, because there's this thing, it's with the North Node of Destiny in the second house, it's this thing of, it's my destiny to be abundant. It's my destiny to accumulate wealth. It's my destiny to recoup losses, which might be happening this month too. For I feel for some of you, there could be a challenging point, and there's a few energies pointing towards that. Mars in your 10th house. For some of you, there's a feeling of recouping something, because you have to really tackle a situation, maybe recouping money, recouping a job, recouping some respectability, saving your face maybe in some way. Once you go face to face with somebody, this could be a male, it could be a boss or a key figure in the work that you do. It's like, I've got to push this. I'm not going to see a loss here. Definitely feel that for some of you, I know it won't be for all of you, but for some of you, there's a need to have a bit of a face-off with either an authority figure or a male figure, where there could have been a weirdness there, like they could have tried to trip you up financially or trip you up with the work that you're doing, trip you up with a work contract, and you're saying, I'm going to dig right in here. I'm going to leave no stone unturned. I'm going to be like a dog with a bone. I'm not letting this go. And this is part of my destiny. I'm not letting it go. I refuse to let it go. In some cases, some of you are really fighting tooth and nail to keep your work very, very on point, because you're saying, I refuse to see losses. I refuse to let this go. So you're putting a huge amount of energy into that. And hopefully, and more than likely, it will pay off. But Mars then moves into Pisces, into your 11th house. And again, this feeling of, again, I'm not going to lose. It's almost like for some of you, is there a hesitancy or a reluctance to, with social media, sometimes you have to work from home and you have to use social media to work, be at home on your cell phone, on your laptop or whatever. And there's a reluctance, I feel. It's almost like a resistance. I have to do this, but I don't want to do this. I have to update my social media page, but I don't want to do it. I have to contact all my clients by cell phone, and I don't want to have to do this. I'd rather do it face to face. But yet, again, there's this feeling of, I better get to this, because if I don't get to this, then there's a chance I could lose something. Lose something to a competitor, lose something that I've been creating. I've been building and working towards something, and I could potentially lose it if I'm very resistant to thinking right outside the box. You're a very creative person, Taurus, very, very creative and very practical. Don't let some of these wonderful, practical, physical, tangible things that you've been creating, possibly to make money from, don't let them just slip and die away and disappear. Please, especially I'm feeling for those of you who might have just recently started a job or started a business or started a project, and you feel, oh, everybody's disappeared, it's all gone to shit, who's interested in this anymore? Please don't get into that mindset. Use the Mars energy to say, this is uncomfortable for me. I don't know whether I'll win or lose by trying this, but I'm going to give it a shot. It's a huge feeling of putting your faith into something. It's like, I might be in the dark about this. I might not know how this pans out or how this works out, but I'm just going to kind of switch off my mind a bit and just go for it and do a real run of faith here and not lose. Yeah, recovering losses because you're putting it's like a force of faith. I don't know where I'm going. I don't know how it's going to pan out. I don't know what's going to happen next, but I'm just going to do it because I trust. I trust. And there's a feeling here of having, I don't know, maybe a little angel on your shoulder as you're doing that. Don't worry about what you don't know. Don't worry about what you don't understand. Don't worry about what you can't figure out. And don't worry about that you don't have all the information just yet. It will clear itself up as all the energy is kind of moving into the second house. It will clear itself up. Just have some faith here, Taurus. That's very strong. I feel that. That's very strong. And a bit of a face-off I do feel is required for some of you. We've got the full moon this month on May 7th. And it's happening in Scorpio, in your house of relationships, partnerships, contracts, agreements. And there again might be this thing of, I have to go back and renegotiate a contract. I have to go back and have another talk with this person about how to deal with the situation. If it's a work thing or a business thing, it's like, I'm not letting this go. I get the feeling for some of you, there's this thing of, suddenly I get it. I was going to let that person away with that. I was going to not understand what was going on. I was going to be led along by somebody, but I'm not doing that anymore. I see it clearer, and I'm going to go in and renegotiate, strike a new deal, forge a new contract. There's a feeling of this thing, Taurus, of I'm a little bit unsure, I'm a little bit afraid, I'm a little bit of kind of, punching in the dark here, but I still have to go for it because I know by an act of faith I'll get through this and I'll get what I need to happen. Now, when it comes to love relationships, for those of you in a relationship, I'll say this. Do your very best this month, Taurus. If you've any grievances with your partner, do your very best to speak face to face with your partner about it. There's an energy here which could make you find yourself in a position where you're talking to other people about the problems in your relationship, your brother, your sister, your friends. Now, of course, it's good to talk. It's good to share and things like that. But the temptation here is that you could vent a lot of things out to other people that you probably shouldn't be doing. Saying, oh, my partner is a pain in the ass. Oh my God, I can't be in quarantine anymore with my partner and blah, 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 blah. Do your very best, as I said. If you have some issue with your partner, sit down in front of them one-on-one and be very diplomatic, be very, let's kind of do this the right way, but have it out. Definitely have it out. And do your best, Taurus, not to spill it out over a bunch of people. Of course, now do take advice. Everybody needs advice every now and then. But you see what I'm saying? The difference is, don't be spilling all your problems out, phoning up people and saying, can you believe what they just did? It perpetuates unrest. It perpetuates an argument. Do your very best to have it out one-on-one with your partner and to come up with some better plan that suits you both together, because what I feel here is that other voices, other opinions, other people's, well, I wouldn't put up with that, even though they're not actually in the relationship, that could knock you off course. It could fill you with lots of doubts, lots of, you're right, I shouldn't be putting up with that. It fills you with doubt. Instead, come back to the original thing, which is your relationship. You're having a relationship with this person. Talk to them. And if the relationship isn't going very, very, very well, then this is an opportunity to bring in a mediator, like a professional, a counselor. But not to be spilling it out all over the place and saying, look what a disaster my relationship is, because that just will not be good energy for you, Taurus. I have to say that for you, because it's so much better to do it the right way, and both of you can transform and change because of that. Now, for the singles, Venus is retrograding this month, and there could be a bit of an attraction going on. A bit of somebody contacting you again. With Venus retrograding, we'll always get voices from the past coming our way. But this person could be somebody that you were very, very physically connected to, very physically attracted to. Was there a good actual relationship? I'm not sure, but the physical connection was very strong. And they could be coming back, into your life in some way, shape, or form. You might get a call from them or something, and they could be reigniting a fire. Now, maybe that's welcome, maybe that's not. That's entirely up to you. Now, we've all the cards that we need, but before we get down to the cards, let's see if there's anything else that I didn't cover. Yeah, we've the new moon, of course, in this second house. It's all to do with this new chapter of speaking up, clearing your mind, and showing you how that brings you peace. You might find that not speaking up and holding things in makes you really angry. This could be something that you kind of see this month, Taurus. It's like, no, I must keep the peace. I won't say it in the moment that it happens. I'll just swallow it down, swallow it down, swallow it down. And then in 1 second, you just explode. And everybody's looking at you going, why are you so angry? What's going on? What's happening? And that could be something that you get to see. It's like, it's not a great idea to be holding in energies in your body, because the tension just might fly out and you could end up arguing with people over the smallest thing. People won't realize that this is a backlog of stuff you've been holding in. So again, that's another thing, just to remind you to always clear the air. As a situation arises, your new task is to say it in the moment, and then it's done. You don't have to harbor anything. But you do have wonderful, wonderful opportunities to come up with new ideas to make money. Great new money-making ideas here, and a good bit of effort being given to you. It's like, put in the effort and you might succeed financially this month. Utilize businesses, advertising, writing, publishing, marketing, public relations. Communication brings you wealth. Communication brings you money. And the thing I was saying a few moments ago, please, Taurus, don't be so resistant to trying new or unusual ways to communicate with your network of people out there, new employers if you need to find a new job, new clients, new things. Don't be resistant. Don't fight it, Taurus, because this could mean a whole new chapter in a way to make money. And when you see it, when you don't resist it and you see it, there might be a kitching, the dollar sign coming up, and you'll say, oh, why didn't I think of this before? Why didn't I see this before? So it's worth the effort, it's worth the focus, and it's worth giving it 100%. So, my love, let's go over finally to your big grand, ta-da, your overview. This is Mars and this is work. Mars starts off this month in your 10th house. We have a few retrogrades this month. Saturn is retrograding in your 10th house. Jupiter is retrograding this month too. And we did say Venus, your ruler, is also retrograding. So things might get a little bit sluggish or slow. Progress, it might feel like, I'm working so hard, but progress is slow. But stay strong. And again, I do feel this thing. This is Mars, the warrior, the one who sits comfortably now because he's put a huge amount of effort in, a huge amount of work in, but he's also not being afraid to tackle obstacles that are in his way. Maybe coming face to face with people if needed, your boss, your manager, your employer, a male figure, an authority figure. It's like, yes, hard work will pay off, but you also have to stand up for yourself a little bit here, Taurus. Stand up for yourself. And don't just be like what I feel is shifting for you. Don't just be the workhorse. Don't just be work, 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 work. It will pay off. Work is a great thing. As the phrase goes, the harder I work, the luckier I get. But at the same time, be smart and know when you have to challenge situations. Know when you have to challenge your own boundaries. Know when you have to challenge your own perception of things, Jupiter retrograding in the 9th house. Recognize these obstacles that are in your way and push to get through them, and you will. A lot of force there for you this month, Taurus. Effort, force, determination, and making sure that all that effort, force, power, and determination is used in the right way by being open to more new ideas, and not being afraid to have that maybe one-on-one with somebody to remove any obstacles there. Every time I say that, I just keep getting this feeling. For me, it's a male figure. A male figure who's just been like a thorn in your side or an obstacle, being deliberately obstinate, being deliberately ridiculous, being deliberately in your way. And I definitely feel that leap of faith, that push here, and you can recover a loss. It's even in some way the feeling like somebody is trying to do you out of something, do you out of a job, do you out of a position, do you out of a financial opportunity, do you out of a gig, do you out of something. Have it out with them, and don't be afraid. Don't be afraid to have it out with them. Be very, very forceful, but be full moon in the 7th house. Be tactful. Be tactful, be diplomatic, but make sure you get what you want. Definitely. Somebody needs for me, Taurus, this is unusual. It's almost like somebody is trying, now bear with me as I say this, it's like they're trying to dump their bad luck on you. But that doesn't wash. It's not yours. They can't just come in and dump that into your backyard. That's not how it works. That's their shit. And don't let somebody, it's like dumping something onto you, dumping their fears, dumping their losses, dumping their lies. There's a feeling of, wait, this isn't my shit. This isn't my shit. You owe me this, you owe me money. What you don't owe me is some bullshit story that you think I'm going to swallow. Now that came in quite strong, so maybe that's for some of you. Somebody trying to do the... Now I know people are going through difficult times at the moment, but there's somebody taking advantage of this. That's what I feel. Oh, with everything that's going on now, I couldn't possibly pay you, or I couldn't possibly return that thing to you, or that money to you, or I couldn't possibly... There's a feeling of, don't use this as an excuse. Don't dump your losses on me. Get with it. And let's sit down and figure out and go through some details to find out what the reality of a situation here is. That's very unusual. That was very strong energy coming in there. But again, great ideas coming your way and a huge amount of force and effort looking into new horizons that seem to be more profitable, something that you can invest your time, effort, energy, and maybe even money into. Your future maybe could be going into this. Investing your money, all the energy in the 2nd house. Venus retrograding, taking money from somewhere and reinvesting it somewhere else. It's like, no, that money's sitting idle there. I need to go back and take that and put it somewhere else. It's like, I want to invest in something that's growing. I want to invest in relationships that are growing. I want to create something that feels like it's going places. Again, that huge feeling, Taurus, of momentum, even though maybe we're still in May under quarantine or lockdown. It's like I want to get moving. I want to get moving. I have force behind me, strength behind me, and I want to get moving. I want to start making that coin. And you will, because you've got a huge amount of force, drive, energy, and persistence, determination, definitely to win. And your biggest allies are your faith, not being willing to let somebody dump their shit on you, and being very, very open to new horizons and new possibilities. This is your gateway through, Taurus. Sorry, Taurus, my camera just went a bit wobbly there for a moment. Now, we're coming, say, mid-month here, maybe from around the time of the full moon, say from May 7th onwards. There's this feeling here of, again, you're being very indulgent or very patient with somebody who is giving you the runaround. It's like they're not coming up with the goods. They're not materializing something. You should be more... you should be more stern with somebody, I feel. It's almost like you're letting somebody off the hook. You're doing your very best to keep things calm, which I appreciate. Nothing wrong with keeping things calm, but there's a difference between keeping things calm and letting somebody away with something, Taurus. It's almost like you're being very indulgent of somebody who's giving you the runaround, somebody that you really should be giving a bit of a kick in the arse to. There is definitely, it's almost like this thing of somebody who is telling you something. Like I said, I can't give you the money. I can't give you this. I can't pay the rent. I can't give you that. I can't come up with the goods. I can't do something. And for me, it just feels like a whole lot of bullshit, lies, a bit of Walter Mitty energy going on here. Like they say they can deliver something and then they don't deliver it. They say they can do this work and then they don't. They can't come up with the goods. That's what I feel. They just can't deliver what they say they're going to deliver. And you're being unusually patient. Way too patient, Taurus. Way too kind. You want to get a bit more severe, a bit more stern, a bit more cross about this situation. Definitely. It's like somebody giving you the runaround. They're not answering their phone. They're not answering their emails. They're giving you the slip. And then when you do get a hold of them, you can't trust what they're saying. There's something in your gut saying... I'm even feeling here that at some point you're saying, look, I'll just play along with them. I just have to go along with them. If I don't annoy them too much, maybe there's a chance. It's like playing along with a lie. You know it's not true, but you're playing along with it. Because you're saying, well, what other chance do I have? What other choice do I have? Here's what you've got to do. Get stern with them. Get tough with them. And let them know what you want, what you need, when you want it, how it's not good enough, that they should be delivering this, returning this, giving you this. It's just not okay. And it's certainly not okay to be using the situation that's going on out there at the moment as an excuse. Because, okay, some people are, as I said, going through difficult times, but this is a wonderful moment for many slippy people to use this as an excuse to not pay, to not deliver, to not do something, to not help you, to not be on time. Not okay. And Taurus, you need to really start picking up your sticks here and really fighting for something, I feel. Around May 11th, I feel it's very, very strong that you have to change your mind completely about a situation. I was once trying to see the higher moral ground here. I was trying to give them the benefit of the doubt. I was trying to be the bigger person here. But really, they don't deserve it. It's like pearl before swine. It's time to go in and speak their language. It's time to go in and battle this, go in on it. And not to lose out on something. Why should you sacrifice something? Because you're letting somebody away with something. That's very strong, Taurus. I'm really feeling that so strong in this reading. You're being way too easy on somebody and you're letting them away with something because you're giving them the benefit of the doubt. But again, as I said, don't cast pearls before swine. You've got to go down and speak their language. They're kind of pure laughing at you in some way because you're letting them away with it. Now, I don't mean that to be mean. I don't want you to feel people are laughing at you in that way. But you know what I'm saying? They're saying, oh, well, Taurus won't bother me. They'll let me away with this. Get tough, Taurus. Get tough. Don't let somebody away with something that's not fair. Why should you be the one that has to lose something and sacrifice something when you don't want to? business, money, contract, partnerships, relationships. Something in there. You've got to start standing up for yourself here, Taurus. Got to. Because something is not okay. Somebody is taking advantage of your good nature. Somebody's taking advantage of the fact that you're letting them away with murder. They're taking advantage of it. And they're being very lazy. Very, very lazy. And I feel in some cases, for some of you, somebody in your life is being very, very lazy and letting you pick up the slack, letting you do all the work. And then worse than that, if that wasn't bad enough, there being also a deliberate obstacle in you doing all the work. This has to change, Taurus, with the North Node of Destiny now and the new moon in this second house. It's time to speak up, get your confidence up here. Say what you've got to say, build your strength and self-esteem, and don't let anybody use you. It's very, very strong. And I know it might be difficult for some of you to realize that somebody's taken advantage of your good nature. But get strong here, Taurus. Again, that good nature of yours should only be appreciated by people who appreciate it. Okay? You've got to defend yourself. Pick up sticks and defend yourself. Taurus, I'm not entirely sure what's going on, but there is a huge shift going on for you this month, and I think it's wonderful. I think it's a very powerful thing that's happening for you. It's almost like you're finally defending yourself. You're finally having it out with somebody. You're finally facing somebody. You're finally squaring off against the obstacles that have been in your way. Some of them might have been coming from yourself, your beliefs, your resistance to certain things. But it has to happen. And this is the moment, towards the end of the month particularly, when all the energy starts moving in towards Gemini. The sun on May 20th goes into Gemini. We've a moment here where you're standing up for yourself. And it's time to break some sort of a stalemate. It's like there's a falseness here, Taurus. Trying to keep something held together with string and sticky tape when it should be finished. It should be done with. Full moon in the 7th house, a relationship that should be done with. Now, cross watchers, don't panic. These are all types of relationships. A business relationship, maybe a friendship, somebody that is very needy of you, somebody that criticizes you openly. There's a feeling of stand up for yourself here, Taurus. Don't try to keep a bad thing held together. Very, very important. Because even though you might not know all the reasons why you should stand up for yourself and push through this, even though it might feel like you have to take a leap of faith to do this, your intuition is telling you, come on, come on, come on. Examine this situation closely and you'll see it. You'll see it. Research the situation, go deeper into the details of something and you'll see it. This very strong feeling for you this month, Taurus, of dig deeper and you'll see something that might shock you. You'll uncover a lie. You'll uncover something that somebody has been deliberately trying to conceal from you. You'll uncover somebody's motives. You'll uncover somebody's trickiness, and you'll be the wiser one because you trusted and had a leap of faith to dig a little bit deeper and not to take somebody, I feel, at face value, at their word. And more than that, it's almost like not to be so naive, Taurus, not to believe them when they say they can't help you with this, or that they can't do this, or that they can't give you back that money, or they can't renew your contract, or they can't do this. Dig deep. Don't just accept something. Dig deep, find out the truth, and stand up for yourself. And when you do this, it's what emerges in you is a whole new confidence, this new self-esteem, this new voice that comes out from you, where you say, never again will this happen to me. And from now on in, I am using what I learned around the time of the full moon. I'm using my wits to make sure that nobody walks on me like that again, or uses me like that again, or lets me do all the lion's share of the work again, or leaves me doing everything and they just ride on my back again. I'm not doing that anymore. Time to stand up, Taurus. This is your new destiny, and this is where the energy is driving you, and this is what the cosmos is gifting you for your birthday. It's saying, we've given you the strength, we've given you the courage. Now get out there and kick some ass, and don't even get in your own way. Don't let anyone in your way, but don't get in your own way. Be very, very open to the new possibilities out there, and this confidence and this ability to renegotiate, but very, very confidently with people, is all up, building up your money, building up your financial status in some way, and building up your confidence in yourself again in some way. Maybe with Jupiter retrograding, building up the trust that you have in what you already know, your wisdom, what you've already studied or learned, and saying, wait a minute, I've more experience than I've given myself credit for. I've more knowledge than I've given myself credit for. I can do this with or without somebody. I can do it, and I'm not afraid. And this is the month where I'm being given the gift to have no fear, to just go and do it, and maybe be quite financially successful because you've taken that rein in your hand. So go for it, Taurus. So, my love, I'm going to leave it at that now. Of course, you know these are just the general birthday energies. To get into the real details, to dig deeper and find out the nitty-gritty of the situation, where we focus on relationships, the singles will focus on love potentials this month. We'll focus on money and career, home, family and friends, and everything that we didn't touch upon here will go deeper and in more detail in the deep read on VIMEO. There's a link down there below in the description box. Click into it, come on over, and I'll meet you over there. And if we're going to leave it at that, my love, happy birthday to the April Taurians also, and as always, my love, I will leave you with all my love and a great big birthday kiss from me to you. Mwah. Until next month, my beauty, bye.